Let me illustrate something like that in Mary Bigaretti's own healing work. She was very well known at her time. She was even discussed in the newspapers. Many people came to her. She was a marvelous healer in the footsteps of Jesus Christ, following him closely. So, wonderful works happened. And it's remarkable that much of her healing work was immediate, which is the standard of Christian Science healing. So, at one time, she was conflicted with violence. And let's see how she reacted on that. It was going like that. We find that case reported in biographies about her. There are around more than a dozen biographies, some of them written from scientists, historical scientists, not only Christian scientists, but also professionals in the field of history. So, one of these healings is about the healing of violence. And this is especially important because we see that healing doesn't end at our body. Healing in Christian Science is much wider. Everything where our thought rests on is needed to be healed or seen in the correct way, in the way divine love sees things. So she was in her studying room, working metaphysically on something, and she felt some thought approaching her that was danger. In the next moment the door sprang open and a man intruded her room with a revolver in his hand. How did she react on it? She diagnosed the case immediately, so to speak, out from her uplifted standpoint. She was at home in the presence of divine love, because she was working all the time in that field, and she was inspired and uplifted by that. And from this standpoint, she said something to him. She said to him, "You cannot shoot me." Why could she say something like that? Was this a suggestion that he might not do it? Was it to try to influence him, to make him not do things he had planned to do? No. She was just speaking out from this presence of divine love. She was feeling hatred is the counterfact. It's not the counterfact, it's the counterpart of love. In the kingdom of love, hate doesn't exist, doesn't come up. It is not existent there. It is not an option that it happens. Or killing or something like that. In knowing that, she said, "You cannot do that." And he felt it. It was impossible to intrude the kingdom of God where hatred, killing doesn't take place. And his arm became weak. The weapon fell to the floor. And then he said, "I have come to kill you." Then he turned around and ran away. So she was shielded, protected. She was at home in her father's presence. When anything like hatred tries to intrude that realm, it loses all its power. It falls before the presence of divine love. This is a wonderful healing, a healing which points into the healing of environment, so to speak. Think about, we are informed all the time that there are powerful negative forces around us or somewhere in the world. What do we know about that? We know that every place, everywhere, is the reality of divine love. Think about the law of gravity. It is in China, it is in South Africa, it is everywhere. Divine love is even more expanded, it's infinite, it's everywhere. And we accept it as a presence at every place. No one is outside of it. We just open our inner spiritual sense for it. That's what we do. That's what we have to do all the time. To facilitate that, to make that easier for us, we can refer to Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures, which is a teacher of Christian Science and also a healer. Reading Science and Health heals. Many people have been healed by just diving into the ideas, just assimilating them. But we cannot stop there, because Christian Science is no reading therapy, no liberal therapy. It is more than that. After we have been informed what we have to do, we have to apply it. And there is a special chapter, the chapter of Christian Science practice. And it shows very clearly, very detailed, what to do in the practice, what to do not. And I would suggest to you, if you want to follow up, I presented some rules today to you as some insights into some fields of Christian Science healing. If you want to follow up that, I would invite you to take the pages 390 up to 400. It's easy to remember the pages, the 10 pages before 400. They give in a very condensed way what is necessary to do in a Christian Science treatment. I would like to give you a hint what I mean. So I open the book on page 393 and I take the first paragraph here. There's an important information before she gives an advice what to do then. She writes about the body again. The body seems to be self-acting only because mortal mind is ignorant of itself, of its own actions and their results, ignorant that the predisposing, remote and exciting cause of all bad effects is a law of so-called mortal mind, not of matter. Mind is the master of the corporeal senses and can conquer sickness, sin and death. So never think that body is creating its own stages or its own conditions. It's not. It's always the mind. Now what do we do with the mind? Exercise this God-given authority. Exercise God-given authority. How do I do that? Remember the very first case I talked to you about? No, it was the second. We exercised authority with my daughter in separating this thing. We didn't know much about it. It's not necessary in metaphysics to know about body. We separated that false growth from her being, because it doesn't belong to her. But we didn't do it with our own power or with willpower. No, we handed her over to the care of divine love, divine life. So, when she writes in the next sentence, take possession of your body and govern its feeling and action. It doesn't mean that we exercise mind power there. Again, we hand it over to divine life. And let divine life, its intelligence and love and power, do everything within our being. It's a very humble act, but it's an act. And it's important that it is an act. If we just read that, exercise this God-given authority. It's not exercised. We are informed that we have to do that, but we haven't done it. So we have to make a break here and exercise it. I would suggest to highlight the word exercise, God-given authority. And when you treat your own case, what you need to have healed, take a firm stand there and say, I exercise here and now my God-given right, authority over disease, over shortcoming, over whatever is negative. I exercise it, I ground myself on the divine presence, which governs everything harmoniously. And then we might read the next sentence. Rise in the strength of spirit, to resist all that is unlike good. Now, we make again a stop here. What do we have to do? Rise in the strength of spirit. I rise out from thinking that I am a victim of disease. I am not. I am not. And in the moment we do that, we adjust our thought to the divine information we get out here. We rise above negativity. We rise above malfunction or dysfunction. We rise above. We do not stay there. Remember that the word Christian Science practice, you find the word act in it. Practice. Act. So do something. Change your mental position. I do not see myself as a victim. I leave that behind and I rise in the strength of spirit and take that position. That is a change, and this is important that we feel that something happens to our thought. So, of course, we could go on a long time. It's nearly over for today. What we need to do is to closely be informed by Jesus Christ's healings. I didn't mention one. There are marvelous healings. Every healing of Jesus Christ is a teaching example. When Jesus speaks about or handles the case of the blind born in John 9, it is reported, when he is confronted with that there is some sin, some cause because of the blindness. There is something, some history which is heavily loading on him. Might be his parents have sinned, might be he himself has sinned. What is Jesus' reaction? He immediately says, neither he has sinned, nor his parents, which is a hit in the face of the thought of the time. He just makes clear in that moment that it's not about searching for the roots of problems. It's about opening the mind for the presence of divine good right here and now. He says, neither he has sinned nor his parents. I do not know the English text by heart, but there should become obvious, or that there should be revealed the works of God. What divine mind does is manifesting completeness. And this we give way for. We step back and give way for it. So in the end, we see that the very first sentence of Science and Health is Christian Science in a nutshell. To those leaning on the sustaining infinite, resting on it. Today is big with blessings. Not tomorrow, but today we accept it for here and now. So thank you for your attention. We will have Q&A afterwards, after a short break, and the chance for those who need to leave. Please feel free to leave. And those who want to stay, we immediately begin to discuss some things you found interesting or you want to go a little deeper into. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.